when AJ Dillon got drafted, I'm up here complaining, come on, get him a wide receiver. Well, he has developed into a he leads in rushing yards, over 600 for the Packers, and rushing attempts, 100 and almost 145. And AJ Dillon of the Packers is now joining us live. He initially was going to be a Michigan Wolverine, and he flipped to Boston College. So that was Harbaugh. You told Harbaugh to hit the road. How did that work?
Hey, I just had to go to the best place for me, but, it's really cool, seeing where they're at this year, Michigan, that is. They got a lot of great things in front of them, so That's awesome.
It is interesting, AJ. One of the reasons, the draft that you were part of, that the Packers the year before were very good, but they did feel that they were a little finessed. They played the Niners twice, and they got pushed around. They played the Chargers that year here in L.A. They got pushed around. They had played Philadelphia. They got pushed around. So you were part of a draft class that was more physical. And it's very obvious now that you are part of I do believe when I watch the Packers, I honestly do, you're a more physical football team. Do you feel it last year to this year? It is different.
I definitely think it's something that we've all been, continuously striving towards. Just kind of having that mentality just to kind of impose our will on defenders as an offense. And I think it's honestly everybody, linemen, tight ends, you got receivers down there blocking, doing their thing. And then, receivers getting the ball and running over people. So I think it's just a mentality we're developing, and they've been working on even before I got here. But, it's nice to be a part of that scheme, I guess.
AJ, when you run like you do, they just added a game to the season. You are a punishing runner. You initiate contact at times. So how do you feel this morning when you get up? Being a power running back in this league, because a lot of the violence has been legislated out of the sport. You can't hit this guy. You can't hit that guy. Running backs still get popped. How do you feel week 13, 14 right now as a power running back?
I feel pretty good. No complaints. I feel like it's week 13, or week 15, just like everybody else. But, I feel good.
Mm-hmm. When you guys have a late bye, you have a late bye this week. You play the Ravens. So let me take, you're a young guy in this league, but is it a good time for a bye?
I think the bye we had, it was late, but just in the comparison to the last 2 years, the one we had last year, I felt like was so early. And then you had that long stretch. Now, the one we just came off of, it was week, I think, 12 or 13. I'm not sure which week it is. But, we played all those games, and then everybody got time to refresh, kind of refocus. And now it's, we got this last little bit ahead of us. And, we kind of have that energy to go for that final push. So I feel like it came at a great time. And especially as a young guy, just to kind of, step away for a second, trying to absorb so much, take a second, do something besides look at football for a second, and then get back to it.
You and I was talking about this the other day on the show, that you can't have one running back anymore. It's ridiculous. It's just you have to have – Denver went out and drafted a running back. He's been fantastic. And you're watching the Chargers last night. Multiple guys outside of Austin Eckler that can make plays. So, Aaron Jones, it's his club. And here comes AJ Dillon. Who's this young guy? And you lead the team in touches this year. But when I watch you play, I really feel like I get a little of both. I get the physical guy who can move. I get the speed guy who can be physical. Is it a good communicative relationship, even though you're taking carries from each other?
Yeah, I think one thing I can definitely attest to is we have a great relationship. And, that's no joke. I know everybody always talks about family, but, that's my big brother. Since I walked in here last year, him and Jamal, who's not here with us anymore, really took me under their wing. And so it stretches more than just, and running the ball and, the things you have to do as a running back. We're looking out for each other off the field and things like that. And so we have that connection, and it's not hard to do. He'll come off in these cold games and he'll be in there. I'll run over my the big coats we wear and make sure he's warm. Things like that. Or I'll be running to meetings and be like, hey, I got some extra snacks. Here you go, and split those. So we have a great relationship, and, I don't think either one of us looks at the stats or the touches or anything like that. We're just trying to put the team in the best position to win, and we're both running on the sideline. I wish there was a camera to catch, every time he scores, I'm up there jumping up, trying to run out in the field. My coach is like, hey, we might go for 2 here. But, it's great to see both of us just out there working and grinding.
Aaron's one of the smartest guys in the league. That means Peyton Manning had this quality. He's audibling quickly. You gotta. It's quick. Now, if you got into Michigan and Boston College, I know you're smart because those schools wouldn't let me near them. So, but when you got there, Aaron's moving 1,000 miles an hour upstairs, and he's not going to be real patient for young guys. So, did you have to get into that offense, AJ, and really speed up fast to keep up with Aaron in the offense?
Absolutely. Like you said, Aaron's so smart. He's been doing it, the highest of levels for so long. He's seen everything that we're seeing a million times. And so, there is so many things that aren't necessarily in the playbook that he can, get to, or see things that aren't actually written down on the X's and O's, but he can draw up, which is a great quality. But yeah, as a young guy, it's definitely, something I really was trying to, get into, and especially this off season, something I really focused on a lot is just kind of all the signals that we can get to, all the audibles, all the trying to figure out what he sees a little bit, just so I can kind of be on the same page and take out that, thinking process and just kind of go out there and get the job done. So still working on it, but definitely feel a lot better than I did coming in.
AJ Dillon, Packers running back. So you played in Boston College. What is that called? Chestnut Hill? Isn't that what they call it?
Chestnut Hill, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, cold weather, and now you're in Lambeau. So you're fighting for the number 1 seed. Now, I thought you played your best game of the year at Arizona, so you guys can go on the road and win. But when you have a cold weather college or a cold weather NFL, like as a running back, do you think that's a big advantage having Tampa come up or Arizona come up?
Absolutely. Going back, you mentioned Chestnut Hill. I remember we'd have those red bandana games. My freshman year, we played Florida State at home, night game. They didn't want any problems with that. My sophomore year, we had Miami come up, and just those types of things. So I saw it in college, and we didn't really play as deep into the year as you do, obviously, in the NFL. And so now, just having my little bit of playoff experience with last year, definitely affects teams having to come up from where it's not as cold. You see that snowy picture right there, coming up into that, going on that frozen tundra. So it definitely is a home field advantage for sure.
But it hurts more when you get hit in these games, doesn't it?
It all feels the same.
All feels like a mini car crash, right? Yeah. All right, AJ Dillon of the Packers. What a pleasure to meet you. Loved having you on, and good luck to you against the Ravens.
Hey, likewise. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
You bet it. AJ Dillon, good dude. He leads them in rushing yards and rushing attempts. Yeah, I love hearing that. I got snacks. I got a jacket for Aaron Jones. I don't care. We're not watching stats. I love that. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.